All praises to the Most High. I'm your host, the Apostle Reuben of IUPR Bible Radio, podcasting out of Little Rock, Arkansas, to the true saints of the Most High God. My brothers and sisters, every now and then, I respond to a comment. Now, a faithful listener was talking about the Christians using Matthew 25:31. Now, brothers and sisters, our Hebrew brothers, they should have went through these things, but they're not. They're really not doing it. So our people are starving for the answers to what's going on in the Bible. Now, again, brothers and sisters, the Christians are the type to put the cart before the horse. A horse is not good in pushing anything. He's good in pulling it. Let's begin. The book of Matthew 25:31. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. Now, you see that? He shall sit upon the throne of his glory. So let's get I just want to get two witnesses to the throne of his glory. Let's get the book of Matthew 19. The book of Matthew 19. The throne of his glory now. The book of Matthew 19:28. Let's read that again. Matthew 19:28. And the Messiah said unto them, Verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. So look at that. Now, according to this verse, when it says, in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Look at that. In the kingdom, according to this verse, Israelites are going to be there. Israel now. Israel. Just Luke 22. Luke 22. I want y'all to see Luke 22. It's going to be said a little bit different, according to Luke. It says, and I appoint unto you a kingdom, as my Father has appointed unto me, that ye may eat and drink at my table in my kingdom, and sit on thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. It didn't say judging the nations or all nations. It says judging the 12 tribes of Israel. But what I want you to pay attention to, brothers and sisters, is throne. Thrones. Thrones. Now, let's go back, because I want you to read this again with me. Matthew 25. Matthew 25 and verse 31 once again, just to let you read it. Matthew 25:31, when the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him now. Then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. Now, according to the two witnesses that we read in Matthew 19:28 and Luke 22:30, we know that the tribes of Israel are going to be in the kingdom. You saw the 12 tribes of Israel. So let's go to Psalms 122. Psalms 122. Again, Psalms 122 and verse 1. I want you to pay attention to this prophecy. A song of degrees of David. I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of the Lord. Our feet shall stand within thy gates. 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 O Jerusalem. Thy gates. Jerusalem is builded as a city that is compacted or city that is compact together. Whether the tribes, hold on now, here we go. I want you to pay attention to this verse. Pay attention to this verse. Pay attention to this verse. It's very important you do. Whether the tribes go up, the tribes of the Lord, unto the testimony of Israel, to give thanks unto the name of the Lord. Oh, here we go now. For there are set thrones of judgment, the thrones of the house of David. Thrones. So wait. Let's read verse 4 and 5 again. Whether the tribes go up, the tribes of the Lord, unto the testimony of Israel, to give thanks unto the name of the Lord. So the tribes go up. The 12 tribes go up. For there are set thrones of judgment. For who? The tribes. That's why Christ said, let's go back, set thrones of judgment. Look, for there are set thrones of judgment, the thrones of the house of David. So Israel, the tribes, have thrones that are set. When it says set thrones, let me show you what that means. Let's get the book of Daniel. Let's get the book of Daniel. Chapter 7. Look. Daniel 7:26. But the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion. His dominion is Esau's dominion, to consume and to destroy it unto the end. Now, judgment shall sit, and the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High. Who are those saints? Because when it says, but judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion, to consume and to destroy it unto the end. Judgment shall sit. Watch. And the kingdom and the dominion and the greatness of the whole kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High, whose kingdom is an everlasting kingdom, and all dominion shall serve and obey him. So one thing we know is that the kingdom, when judgment sits, the kingdom shall be given to the saints. The kingdom, Daniel is letting you know that the kingdom of God, the everlasting kingdom of Christ, is going to be given to the saints, not the nations, the saints. So let's go look and see who the saints are once again. I want to play, just letting you read. Again, Psalms 148, verse 14. Psalms 148, 14. He also exalted the horn of his people, the praise of all his saints, even of the children of Israel. Israel is his saints, and they're the only saints. A people near unto him, praise ye the Lord. Psalms 149 and 1. Praise ye the Lord, sing unto the Lord a new song, and his praise in the congregation of the saints. Let Israel, the Israelites are his saints. We don't have to lie to you, brothers and sisters. Israel, they're his saints. Let Israel rejoice in him that made him. Let the children of Zion be joyful in their king. So Israel, they're the saints of the Most High. They've been the saints ever since Deuteronomy. Deuteronomy 33. They've been the saints ever since then. So Deuteronomy 33, verse 1. And this is the blessing wherewith Moses, the man of God, blessed the children of Israel before his death. And he said, the Lord came from Sinai and rose up from Seir. Seir is Edom unto them. He shined forth from Mount Paran. He came with 10,000s of saints. From his right hand went out a fiery law from them. See, he's coming with 10,000 of his saints. That's the children of Israel. Yea, he loved the people, all his saints, the children of Israel. The children of Israel are his saints, are in thine hand, and they sit down at thy feet. Every one shall receive of thy words. Saints are the children of Israel. So we go back to Daniel, real quick, Daniel 7:26. We're looking at that Psalms 122. We're going back to Psalms 122, but I want to get you to see this first. Let me put it back up there. Sorry about that, brothers and sisters. The book of Daniel, chapter 7, verse 26. But the judgment shall sit, and they shall take away his dominion. His dominion is his dominion. His dominion is going to end. These people know. To consume and to destroy it unto the end. And the kingdom and dominion and the greatness of the kingdom under the whole heaven shall be given to the people of the saints of the Most High God. So the kingdom is going to be given to the saints. Daniel sees a prophecy of the kingdom being given to the saints, not the nations. We got to get that straight first. But you know, he says, remember, but the judgment shall sit. Sit. Let's go back to Psalms 122. See, brothers and sisters, this thing is already predestined. These Christians are just out here just to deceive you. Watch this. Whether the tribes go up, the tribes of the Lord, unto the testimony of Israel, to give thanks unto the name of the Lord. For there are set thrones of judgment, the thrones of the house of David, the thrones of the house of David. And those thrones are for the tribes. Those thrones are for the tribes. And if you don't understand this, Revelation 20, I'm getting straight to the point. John says, and I saw thrones, and they that sat, and I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. Who was judgment given to? Because he sees the thrones, and judgment was given unto them. Who was judgment given to, brothers and sisters? Because the thrones was the judgment given. The them is in another place in the Bible. And we're going to take a look at it. And I saw thrones, and they that sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. Let's go back and look and see who judgment was given into. The book of Daniel. The book of Daniel chapter 7. Right back to Daniel chapter 7. And we're going to start right in verse 22. Daniel 7, getting straight to the point. No, let's go to 21. I want to read verse 21, 22. Let's set it up. I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints, the children of Israel, and prevailed against them. That horn is these people here. He was the horn. No matter what form he's in, the Greek, Roman, or today. So it says, I beheld, and the same horn made war with the saints, and prevailed against them. Until the Ancient of Days came and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High. And the time that the saints possessed the kingdom. That's who judgment was given to possess the kingdom. The saints, they were the only ones the kingdom was given to. And who are the saints? The children of Israel. See, the Christians put the cart before the horse. You got to understand who the kingdom is for. It is not for all nations. There is no prophecy in the Old Testament that prophesies that the kingdom was for all nations. Until the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High. And the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. Judgment was given unto the saints, the children of Israel. That's when you go back to John in the book of Revelation. Let's go back to Revelation. John's Revelation 20. Verse 4. And I saw thrones, the kingdom, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. The them were the saints, the children of Israel. And I saw the souls of them that were beheaded for the witness of the Messiah and for the word of God, which was the law, which had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads or on their hands. And they lived and reigned with Christ for 1,000 years. Judgment was given unto the saints to rule with Christ for 1,000 years. The kingdom was given to the saints. When you look, brothers, again, what we want, we're going to do this, and we're going to do this correctly. We're going to go back to the book just real quick, and then we're going to show you, because it's really not about what they, like I say, figure out one thing, then the other. The book of Psalms. I want to go here first. The book of Psalms 103. And I want you to see this. Psalms 103:17. But the mercy of the Lord is from everlasting to everlasting upon them that fear him, and his righteousness unto the children's children. The children's children are the children of Israel, their children. But watch this. To such as keep his covenant, and to those that remember his commandments to do them. I'm going to read that again. To such as keep his covenant, and to those that remember his commandments to do them. From who? The children's children. So if the children keep the law, the Lord hath prepared his throne in the heavens, and his kingdom ruleth over all. When your throne is prepared in the heavens, it's talking about Christ's future kingdom. And it's to the Israelites. There is no prophet in this Bible that saw anything from the Spirit of God that would even have you thinking that the other nations are going to get a throne in the kingdom or be in it at all. It's not there. The throne in the heavens is prepared for the children's children. Watch, let's get further proof on this throne. Let's get a little bit more. The book of Psalms. (132). Verse 11. Just reading this real quick. Let me put it back up. It says, the Lord has sworn in truth unto David. He will not turn from it. Of the fruit of thy body will I set upon thy throne. But look at this. If thy children will keep my covenant, thy children, my children. Look at this. if thy children will keep my covenant and my testimony that I shall teach them, their children shall sit upon thy throne forevermore. That was nobody. Watch this. For the Lord hath chosen Zion. He hath desired it for his habitation. You don't see, let's go, Psalms 122. You don't see nations getting the promise of the thrones. It's not there. They don't see this, what the Christian so-called sees. Psalms 122 and 4. Whether the tribes go up, the tribes of the Lord, unto the testimony of Israel, to give thanks unto the name of the Lord. For there are set thrones of judgment, the thrones of the house of David. And those set thrones are for the tribes. So now when we see the throne is for the children's children, the tribes, the throne of Christ, prophesied, because they will not have a chapter or a verse that is going to tell you that other nations are going to inherit the throne. They don't have it. We already know. The throne was for the children of Israel. You see it. The tribes go up, the tribes of the Lord, unto the testimony of Israel, to give thanks unto the name of the Lord. For there are set thrones of judgment, the thrones of the house of David, and those thrones are for the tribes. So when Christ says this, Christians avoid it. And that's why I say, brothers and sisters, if they're going to avoid these things, we can't do nothing with them. You're putting the cart. Look at this. That's why Christ says, and the Messiah said unto them, verily I say unto you, that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory, ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Because the thrones are for the tribes of Israel, like you have saw. The thrones are for the tribes of Israel. Did you see it was for the nations? No. I didn't see it. I know that it's according to Psalms 122, 4 and 5, the thrones were for Israel. Well, you got to be kidding me, brothers and sisters. The Christians, they don't go back. See, they don't go back here to look. Not at all. Not at all. So when you see Luke 22, we're doing it one more time, Luke 22. Verse 29, and I appoint unto you a kingdom, as my Father has appointed unto me, that ye may eat and drink at my table in my kingdom, and sit on thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Do you think that the apostles are the only ones that are going to have thrones? No. No, there's going to be many more that have thrones. Christ just made an example. He's just letting the apostles know that you want to be at the kingdom, or in the kingdom with me, sitting at my table. When we're judging from the throne, Israel, because that is who the kingdom is for. That's why when you look at Luke 12, you never will see nations here, brothers and sisters. You never will see nations. Luke 12:32, fear not, little flock, for it is your Father's good pleasure to give you the kingdom. Little flock. Who was the flock? You got to look at the flock, brothers and sisters. Who was God's flock? Who was the flock? Jeremiah. Just Jeremiah 23, man. Jeremiah 23, verse 1. Woe be unto the pastors that destroy and scatter the sheep of my pasture, saith the Lord. Therefore, thus saith the Lord God of Israel against the pastors that feed my people. Ye have scattered my flock. There it is. The Lord's flock is Israel. Nations are not his flock. And driven them away, and have not visited them. Behold, I will visit upon your evil, the evil of your doing, saith the Lord. And I will gather the remnant of my flock out of all countries, whither I have driven them, and will bring them again to their foes. That's northern and southern kingdom. And they shall be fruitful and increase. There's a time coming for that. But the flock, his flock was Israel, and Israel alone. Got to know who the flock was. So you're looking at the kingdom being for Israel only. That's the first thing. The kingdom being for Israel only. You were reading it. Psalms 103, Psalms 122, Psalms 132. Matthew 19:28, Luke 22 and 30. You will never see in prophecy or in the New Testament, as they say, the thrones being for all nations. You saw who they were for, and both testaments testified it was for Israel. See, these Christians, let's go back to Matthew. And before we go back to Matthew, let's get Revelation. Revelation. Just on the button. Revelation 21. Verse 11. Having the glory of God, talking about the kingdom, and her light was like unto a stone most precious, even like a jasper stone, clear as crystal, and had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, 12 gates, and at the 12 gates 12 angels, and names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of Israel. Gates. Gates. What did we read that at before? Gates, Psalms 122 once again. The prophets foretold this. Psalms 122, verse 1. I was glad when they said unto me, let us go into the house of the Lord. Our feet shall stand within thy gates, O Jerusalem. Our feet shall stand within thy gates. Jerusalem is builded as a city that is compact together. Whether the tribes go up, the tribes of the Lord, the tribes unto the testimony of Israel, to give thanks unto the Lord, give thanks unto the name of the Lord, give thanks unto his name, for there are set thrones. That's the kingdom. That's rulership of judgment. The thrones of the house of David. The thrones of the house of David. Thrones. The Christians, they can't even get that right. No one else is going to be in the gates of the kingdom except the 12 tribes of Israel. That's why it was written in Matthew 19:28, Luke 22:30, and Revelation. Let's go back. In Revelation 21. See, most people just have Revelation 21, but now, brothers and sisters, you have a lot more than that. There was nowhere in the book where the nations would get the kingdom. The flock in Luke 12:32, the little flock that was to get the kingdom, who was the flock? Israel. Get it straight who gets into the kingdom. But I'm going to show you what they do. I'm going to show you what they do. And had a wall great and high, and had 12 gates, and at the gates 12 angels, and the names written thereon, which are the names of the 12 tribes of the children of Israel. Within the gates, the 12 tribes, the tribes of the Lord. Psalms 122:4. And the set thrones, the kingdom. David foretold it, but the Christians don't want to see it. That's the Old Testament. We don't want to pit. You better pay attention to it, because David saw Israel getting the thrones. Not one verse did you see that the nations would get the thrones, did you? You didn't see that, did you? But let's go back, and this is why Matthew, and then we're done, brothers and sisters, because we don't have to worry about when you can't establish one thing but try to teach another. It's going to make you look like a joke sooner or later, and they do. All right, Matthew 25:31. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. Now watch. Here's what they want you to see. Now remember, the throne of his glory, who's with him in the throne of his, who is with him in the throne of his glory? Israelites. Israelites were already established by prophecy to be in the kingdom of Christ alone. Because in Revelation 22, not going to pay attention to what they're. Revelation 22, verse 14, blessed are they that do his commandments, that they may have right to the tree of life, and may enter in through the gates, the same gates that was mentioned in the book of Psalms 122:3. The same gates that was mentioned in Revelation 21:12. The same gates. It's right here. Those gates. But watch this. For without those that are outside of the gates are dogs, Gentiles. Dogs. Remember, Christians hate it, but Matthew 15. Verse 24. But he answered and said, I am not sent but unto the lost sheep of the house of Israel. I've only been sent for them. You can't understand that, lady? You can't understand that? You Christians can't understand that? But let's get to the verse 26. But he answered and said, it is not meet to take the children's bread and cast it to the dogs. So the other nations outside of Israel were dogs. Oh, man. Why can't they put this all together, brothers and sisters? Why can't they put it all together? We can see that the nations are not going to be in the kingdom. But Matthew, make sure we get this done right. Matthew 25. Because it's something they want you to see. We're going to go right to it. Matthew 25:32. And before him shall be gathered all nations. That's all they want you to see. Now we can see that the kingdom, the Israelites are going to be with Christ in the throne of his glory, not the other nations. We have record that the only ones that are going to get the kingdom is Israel. You saw it with me. Go back and review the tape, or I should say, go back and review the podcast. What I read to you, they have nothing. The Christians have nothing about a throne. Nothing. What I showed you when it came to the throne and the kingdom, according to the prophets, that's all there is. We know it. The Gentiles will never promise the throne of God. There is not going to be a 13th gate. See, when you look at the vision the Christians want you to have, and before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. Now, all nations, but the throne of his glory, we only saw Israel. But when you see the all nations, what is he talking about? If the kingdom is for Israel and Israel alone by proof, then what is this gather before him all nations? When it has already been established that Israel is going to get the throne by themselves. What need would he have to gather all nations if Israel is going to be inheriting the throne of glory by themselves, as we have read? Head scratcher. We already know that Israel is going to get the kingdom alone. It didn't say the nations, it said Israel. But now, and before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. Look at wait a minute. And he shall set the sheep on his right hand, but the goats on his left. So, I mean, look at this. I want to show you something. Now, it says gathered all nations. See that, all nations? Now, Christians, again, will have you to believe that all, even though Israel is prophesied from Old and New Testament. Christ prophesied it too in Matthew 19:28 and Luke 22:30. And John prophesied in Revelation 20:4, judgment was given to the saints, Daniel 7:22. That's who was on the thrones. There was no prophecy from no person, whether it's a prophet, apostle, speaker, teacher. They never saw the nations inheriting the kingdom, the throne. They did not see that. We read it to you. Now, if they could show you one, have them do it. So, when it says, and before him shall be gathered all nations, is that talk? Now we have somebody that's going to share our kingdom with us. See, we've already been established, brothers and sisters, in verse 31, sit up on the throne of his glory. Israel is going to do that. We showed you. And according to Daniel, wait a minute. According to Daniel, see, it's things you have to think about. Daniel 2. Daniel 2. I'm thinking, here it is, Daniel 2:44. I want you to pay attention. It says, and in the days of these kings shall the God of heaven set up a kingdom. Here it is, which shall never be destroyed, and the kingdom shall not be left to other people. Other people won't have a kingdom. But the kingdom of God, shall break in pieces and consume all these kingdoms, and it shall stand forever. See, when it says the kingdom shall not be left to another people. That means Esau will no longer be ruling. And he's not going to get into the Lord's kingdom, but his kingdom is going to be broken in pieces. These Christians don't know these verses? No, because it's talking about them, Edomites. So I looked at this. I said, I want to get Jeremiah. Jeremiah 3 and verse 17. I said, what's going on? Jeremiah 3. We'll do it like this. Jeremiah 3:17. I want you to pay attention to the wording. At that time they shall call Jerusalem the throne of the Lord, the throne. And all the nations shall be gathered unto it. All nations shall be gathered unto the throne. Remember, this is talking about the throne of the glory of Christ. The throne. We make sure that you can see. We're going to read it all to you. Now remember, we're going to go back to Christ. Matthew. The reason why is because I want you to see this. Matthew 25:31. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. Throne. And before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. Now look. And before him, in the throne, Christ's throne is the throne of the Lord, shall be gathered all nations, pay attention now, the throne of his glory, and before him shall be gathered all nations. Let's go back to Jeremiah. Let's investigate that. Jeremiah 3. Verse 17. At that time they shall call Jerusalem the throne of the Lord. This is the time of Christ. And all the nations shall be gathered unto it. There it is. All the nations shall be gathered unto it, to the name of the Lord, to Jerusalem. Neither shall they walk any more after the imagination of their evil heart. Now let's see in verse 18 who this all the nations is. Let's drop down. In those days, the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel. Stop. Ooh. Is that all? Wait a minute, brothers and sisters. They'll say, it flipped and he went somewhere else with it. No. At that time, they shall call Jerusalem the throne of the Lord. This is the throne of Christ. And all the nations shall be gathered unto it. All the nations. To the name of the Lord, to Jerusalem. Neither shall they, all of the nations, walk any more after the imagination of their evil heart. But look, Jeremiah continues, in those days, the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel, both kingdoms, and they shall come out the land of the north, which is Edom, to the land that I have given them for an inheritance unto your fathers, the kingdom. So all the nations in verse 17 was the northern and southern kingdom. Context, right? Yes, context. When you saw in verse 17, all of the nations is all nations. But who was all the nations? In those days, the days when? When they call Jerusalem the throne of the Lord. Here's God's kingdom through his son. And all the nations shall be gathered unto it, just like Christ said in Matthew 25:32. But when you drop down, in those days the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel, and they shall come together out of the land of the north. That is Edom. It's the land that I have given them for an inheritance unto your fathers. Look at that. So all the nations mentioned in verse 17 was northern and southern kingdom. We're going to show you again in Isaiah 66. Now remember, Isaiah chapter 4. I want to show you this. Isaiah 4:2. And that day shall the branch of the Lord be beautiful and glorious, and the fruitful of the earth, and the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped of Israel. Escaped. Notice it says, in that day shall the branch of the Lord be beautiful and glorious, and the fruit of the earth shall be excellent and comely for them that are escaped of Israel. Escaped. See, I'm showing you early, brothers and sisters, there's only one nation that's going to escape when the Lord, watch this, we're going to get it again. Isaiah 10:20. And it shall come to pass in that day that the remnant of Israel and such as are escaped of the house of Jacob shall no more again stay upon him that smote him, but shall stay upon the Lord, the Holy One of Israel, in truth. All right, look at that. Escape. But it's a prophecy. Let me read verse 21. The remnant shall return, even the remnant of Jacob, unto the mighty God. But it's a prophecy in Isaiah 66. It's a prophecy in there that I want you to see. Isaiah 66, verse 18 says, For I know their works and their thoughts. It shall come, I will gather all nations and tongues, and they shall come and see my glory. Now, most of you know how to do this in context, but it says all nations and tongues. All nations and tongues. But watch. And I will set a sign among them. The them is all nations and tongues. And I will send those that escape. Brothers and sisters, those that escape. The only ones that are going to escape in that day is Israelites. Look, we already know, brothers and sisters, that the pastors are not going to find a verse in the Bible that is going to tell you that all nations are going to escape in the second coming of Christ. No, the only ones that are going to escape is the ones you read. Isaiah 4:2, Isaiah 10:20. Those are the only ones that's going to escape. So you can see, brothers and sisters, when it says all nations and tongues, it does not always mean every nation, every tongue. Sometimes, brothers and sisters, it can refer to Israelites from all nations, but they're being called all nations because that's where they were, and that's who they were among, uncircumcised. All nations does not always mean every nation on the planet. And you can see when you put these verses together, for I know their works and their thoughts. It shall come, I will gather all nations and tongues, and they shall come and see my glory. The glory of his what? Throne. Over and over. And I will set a sign among them, the all nations, and I will send those that escape of them to the nations. I will send those that escape from all nations to more nations, which is letting you know all nations will not see the throne. Pay attention to the verses. You must read the verses. The all nations that are going to escape was Israel. Of them unto the nations to Tarshish, Shapul, and Lud, that draw the bow, to Tubal and Yavon, to the isles afar off, that have not heard my fame, neither have they seen my glory. And they shall declare, who is the they? The they are those that escape of all nations, which were the Israelites. They're the only ones that were going to escape. It's going to be a remnant from all nations that escape. But they were called all nations and tongues in verse 18. But when you see, you put this together. I'm slowing this down for you. For I know their works and their thoughts. It shall come that I will gather all nations and tongues, and they shall come and see my glory. And I will set a sign among them. That's the nations and tongues. And I will send those that escape. Who's going to escape? Israel. That's the all nations in verse 18. No one else is going to escape in the second coming of Christ. No other nation. You will not find it. Ask them to find it. See if they do. We're challenging them to something we know they can't do. When he says, I will set a sign among them, that was all nations. I will send a sign. I will send those that escape of them, of those all nations, unto the nations, to more nations out in the earth. Tarshish, Pool, Lud, draw the bow, Tubal, Yavon, isles afar off that have not heard of my fame. These people don't even know about God. Neither have they seen my glory. They shall declare my glory among the Gentiles. Now watch what the next verse. And they were those Gentile nations that were named in verse 19, shall bring all your brethren. The brethren are the Israelites, for an offering unto the Lord out of all nations, upon horses and upon chariots and upon litters, upon mules, upon swift beasts, to my holy mountain Jerusalem, saith the Lord, as the children of Israel bring an offering in a clean vessel unto the house of the Lord. Brothers and sisters, you got to realize the Christians in this all nations, and they don't, you got to realize it takes more. It takes more. Just sit back and think. What do they want you to see? What do they really, truly want you to see? And before him shall be gathered all nations. Now we read the same gathering unto the same throne, and those all nations were the house of Israel and the house of Judah. Jeremiah 3:17-18. That all nations was the house of Israel and Judah. That was the all nations that will be gathered unto the throne. Jeremiah already foretold it. Christ is just repeating what he says. That's why, again, when the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory, the throne of his glory. And before him shall be gathered all nations. That's before him shall be gathered all nations. The book of Jeremiah. One more time. Christ, this already was foretold. Jeremiah 3:17. Who was going to, at that time, they shall call Jerusalem the throne of the Lord, and all the nations shall be gathered unto it, gathered to the name of the Lord, to Jerusalem. Neither shall they walk any more after the imagination of their evil heart. The throne of the Lord. In those days when the throne of the Lord is there, the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel, both kingdoms, and they shall come together out of the land of the north, which is Edom. That's why. Zechariah 2:6. See, Edom is not going to be saved they shall come out of the land of the north. Zechariah 2. Let's look at this. Zechariah 2 and 6. Ho, ho, come forth, flee, and come forth, and flee from the land of the north, saith the Lord. For I have spread you abroad as the four winds of heaven, saith the Lord. Deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwellest with the daughter of Babylon. Let's read that one more time. Ho, ho, come forth, flee from the land of the north, saith the Lord. For I have spread you abroad as the four winds of heaven, or the four winds of the heaven, saith the Lord. Deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwellest with the daughter of Babylon. So the daughter of Babylon is the land of the north. The daughter of Babylon is the land of the north. So who is the daughter of Babylon? Psalms 137. Let's get it. Just 2 verses. Remember, O Lord, the children of Edom. Children of Edom. Children of Edom. In the day of Jerusalem, who said, raise it, even to the foundation thereof. O daughter of Babylon. There it is. The daughter of Babylon is Edom. The daughter of Babylon is Edom. The Edomites, they're the daughter of Babylon. Who art to be destroyed, happy shall he be that rewardeth thee as thou hast served us. So the daughter of Babylon is Edom. So we go back to Zechariah. Ho, ho, come forth and flee from the land of the north, saith the Lord. For I have spread you abroad as the four winds of heaven, saith the Lord. Deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwellest with the daughter of Babylon. Wow, look at that. So we know these people aren't going to be delivered because that's who is going to be destroyed. Not being mean, racist, none of that. We're just looking at the text. So the daughter of Babylon is Edom. And that's why it says, ho, ho, come forth, flee from the land of the north. So the land of the north, deliver thyself, O Zion, that dwellest with the daughter of Babylon. So the daughter of Babylon is the land of the north. The book of Jeremiah. Again, 3, verse 17 and 18. At that time shall they call Jerusalem the throne of the Lord. That's just Christ's throne. And all the nations shall be gathered unto it. All the nations. All the nations. All nations. Well, who are these all nations? You're going to find out in verse 18. To the name of the Lord, to Jerusalem. Neither shall they walk any more after the imagination of their evil heart. Who is it talking about? In those days, the house of Judah shall walk with the house of Israel, both kingdoms back together. This is letting you know this is future. And they shall come together out of the land of the north. Who is the land of the north? Edom. Edom. To the land that I have given for an inheritance unto your fathers. The land of the north is Edom. That's who's going to be gathered. The all nations. The house of Judah with the house of Israel. That's why, brothers and sisters, we wanted to put the horse back before the cart when we go back to Matthew 25, just to set it straight. Matthew 25, verse 31 again. When the Son of Man shall come in his glory, and all the holy angels with him, then shall he sit upon the throne of his glory. Well, who's going to be, wait a minute, who? The throne of his glory. The throne of his glory, Matthew. Just a quick, you don't have to follow me, brothers and sisters, just a quick look at it. Matthew 19:28, and the Messiah said unto them, verily I say unto you that ye which have followed me in the regeneration, when the Son of Man shall sit in the throne of his glory. Ye also shall sit upon 12 thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Ah, look at that. 12 tribes. The kingdom. That's what it was for. Luke 22:29, I appoint unto you a kingdom, you, not the nations, you a kingdom, as my Father has appointed unto me, that ye may eat and drink at my table in my kingdom, and sit on thrones, judging the 12 tribes of Israel. Thrones. Thrones. We know that Israel is going to be in the kingdom. Not nations. Nations aren't not getting a throne from Christ. It's not prophesied. It doesn't go. It's not. You're not going to prove make us see it any different. When you see who the thrones is meant for, we already know Psalms 122:4 whether the tribes go up, the tribes of the Lord, unto the testimony of Israel, to give thanks unto the name of the Lord. For there are set thrones of judgment, the thrones of the house of David. These thrones are meant for Israel, like Christ just said. Thrones, judging the 12 tribes, because the 12 tribes is who the kingdom was for. 12 gates. There's not a 13th gate. There's no other gate. Those that are outside the gate are dogs, Gentiles. We read it, Revelation 22:15. Psalms 103. We know, brothers and sisters, we already know. Psalms 103. According to the law, you will not find any prophet telling you, me, or nobody else, but the mercy of the Lord is from everlasting to everlasting upon them that fear him, and his righteousness unto the children's children. The righteousness unto the children's children. Not to the nations. To such as keep his covenant, and to those that remember his commandments to do them. The Lord hath prepared his throne in the heavens. This is the coming kingdom of Christ. And the thrones in the heaven is prepared for the children's children, not nations. You're not going to see that. You're not. You're not going to see nations get no kingdom, no throne. Only the children, the Israelites. The Lord hath prepared his throne in the heavens, and his kingdom ruleth over all. The book of Daniel 7. One more, and then we're done. The book of Daniel 7. These prophets didn't see all nations getting the kingdom. They never seen. They didn't. But just because you see all nations, you want to watch this. Until the Ancient of Days came, and judgment was given to the saints of the Most High. And the time came that the saints possessed the kingdom. This kingdom is the coming kingdom of Christ. Daniel saw it, and he saw it for the saints, and the saints only. Revelation. Judgment was given. Judgment was given. Judgment was given. Judgment was given to the saints. And I saw thrones, and they sat upon them, and judgment was given unto them. Who was it given to? Israel, the saints. And I saw the souls of them, of the saints, which were beheaded for the witness of the Messiah, and for the word of God, which was the scriptures, and had not worshipped the beast, neither his image, neither had received his mark upon their foreheads, or in their hands. And they lived and reigned with Christ 1,000 years, because that's who the kingdom was for. So when you see this in Matthew, because if you don't know how to look for witnesses, you'll believe that. And that's what a lot of our people believe. But when you see, and before him shall be gathered all nations, and he shall separate them one from another, as a shepherd divideth his sheep from the goats. But more interesting, brothers and sisters, watch this. when it says, and he shall set, there's that set, the sheep on his right hand and the goats on his left. And said, then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, come, ye blessed of my father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. The kingdom prepared. Again, who was the kingdom prepared for? Back to Psalms 103. Look at the wording. Look at the wording, brothers and sisters. Prepared for you. Who was it prepared for? The book of Psalms, chapter 103. You understand where we're going. They can go where they want to go. But here it is. But the mercy of the Lord is from everlasting to everlasting upon them that fear him, and his righteousness unto children's children. Children's children, not the nations. To such as keep his covenant, and to those that remember his commandments to do them, the Lord hath prepared his throne in the heavens, and his kingdom ruleth over all. Who is this throne prepared for? The children's children, not nations. So when we come back here to Matthew 25. Verse 32. No, I don't want verse 32. I want verse 34. Then shall the king say unto them on his right hand, come, ye blessed of my father, inherit the kingdom prepared for you from the foundation of the world. Who was it prepared for? The children's children, Israel. And with that, brothers and sisters, all praises to the Most High. Just shining some light on it. There's no way this all nations here was talking about anybody from any nation that believed on Christ. The all nations were the northern and southern kingdom. You have to have witnesses to these verses or you'll be lost. So with that, brothers and sisters, all praises, one love and peace. We'll be back with you soon. And may your Monday night, as they call it, be blessed. All praises.